I promised you 10 storylines, and we're still stuck at number 5. And I'm not even counting Bill Gates' family tree. Number 6. Plain and simple. Thanks to the corona precautions, we are no longer allowed to meet up with more than 100 people. This was announced on March 14, and it is shown as such in the Dutch version of this documentary that was published first. Only 10 days later, on March 24, the Dutch government announced that this number had gone down from 100 to 3. It is now prohibited to celebrate your birthday with more than 3 people in the room. It's prohibited to walk on the beach. It's prohibited to approach a person at a distance less than 1.5 meters. If you get any closer than 1.5 meters, you can be fined €400 on site. All events and gatherings have been cancelled, including my lectures and presentations, until the 1st of June. Exceptions? Funerals and church weddings. What else? Mayors have the right to have you quarantined at their command. Which part of police state don't you understand? And hey, in all fairness, this is a great solution for any government worried about the yellow vests, protesting farmers and other insubordinates. And come on, it's for your own good. Number 7. The lockdown of China and other countries have enormous economic consequences. Businesses are shut down, production, supply. Many companies are driven to bankruptcy. Stock continues to decline. Oil prices are plunging. Even cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin are plummeting. The mainstream media are screaming of a stock market crash. Shares are sold in a panic. Once again, a great advantage for the cabal. Donald Trump will be blamed for this misery. Guaranteed. The cabal will do anything to prevent him from being re-elected. An economic drama is most welcome. The fact that Trump had actually revived the American economy with, among others, the creation of 6.5 million new jobs will soon be forgotten. Storyline number 8. And this is where we get to an interesting twist in our story. Believe it or not, the coronavirus can also be regarded a blessing in disguise. I will explain. I believe that the entire negative corona story was created by the cabal to influence the presidential elections, so that Trump would disappear off the stage and they would regain power and control, going back to their new world order. However, the so-called white hats, the good guys, seem to have taken over, and that was something the cabal had not counted on. The financial economic crisis will turn out to have many advantages. How long have we been waiting for a financial reset? For a new monetary system? Do you really think this can be implemented without a struggle? Of course not. It will take a shock wave. The once so powerful cabal, the elite, the 1% I exposed in a 3-hour documentary is being destroyed as we speak, bit by bit. Corruption, money laundering by governments and politicians through their non-governmental organizations, high treason by selling national security secrets, and even 20% of the US radioactive uranium to Russia. See part 9 of The Fall of the Cabal about the Rosatom deal of Obama and the Clintons. Everything is coming to light. Human trafficking, child sex trafficking. They're draining the swamp. A financial reset will follow, guaranteed. The first signs are already there in the US. People are allowed to delay the down payment of their mortgage due to the coronavirus. That's never happened before. Interest rates have gone down to 0. The utterly corrupt Federal Reserve is now being restructured by Trump. And following the Fed, all central banks will bear the consequences, including the European Bank, the Bank for International Settlements, and the International Monetary Fund. The German National Bank is bankrupt. Other banks will follow soon. This may come across as scary, especially when you have a lot of money in the bank. But it's absolutely necessary to come to a new financial system. Only then can equal distribution arise. Only then can the abundance that we live in this world flow towards the 99% instead of the pockets of the 1%. Income tax will disappear. Value-added tax will be adjusted. Everybody will profit except the cabal. Storyline 9. Operation Defender 20. The biggest military exercise since 25 years. 30,000 American soldiers have arrived in 7 European countries. Tens of thousands of soldiers and civilians from those countries are standby to support them. In what? An exercise? The funny thing is, these soldiers don't wear mouth caps and they have no problems crossing the closed borders. What are we looking at? Furthermore, we heard the news that quite a few high-placed officials have been infected with the coronavirus. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's wife now has COVID-19. Her husband decided to self-quarantine. Queen Elizabeth fled Buckingham Palace for fear of the coronavirus. What a strange decision. I thought a palace would be a rather safe place. Our Dutch king Willem-Alexander and his wife Maxima will be tested for the virus, as they came in contact with infected people. Hollywood is another place where COVID-19 rules. Top actors such as Tom Hanks, his wife Rita Wilson, Orlando Bloom, Katy Perry, Ellen DeGeneres, even Harvey Weinstein in prison. They are all down with the virus. Hollywood has gone dark. Hollywood, one of the worst pedophile dens in the world, where child actors are molested on a daily basis, where satanic sacrifice rituals are commonplace. Hollywood is down? Main suspects in the nauseating Pizzagate scandal are being quarantined? Or should we read house arrests instead of quarantine? Or simply arrests? Are we looking at the mass arrests that the QAnons have been waiting for so long? COVID-19 furthermore seems to have a preference for ministers, top athletes and CEOs. In short, it seems to have a preference for people with a 6-figure salary, which of course is completely normal. All of a sudden, 60 Italian priests have died of COVID-19. Remember Trump's statement about child sex offenders? Fast trials, death penalty. Let's move on to our final storyline. In Wuhan, China, adrenochrome is produced. Remember from my previous documentary? The blood that the cabal drinks to feed on and uses as live elixir is produced in and sold from Wuhan, the city where the coronavirus emerged. Could it be that this adrenochrome has been infected intentionally with this virus by the White Hats? Or with something else? Something more lethal? To bring down the cabal? Have the cabal virus victims really been infected with COVID-19? Have the priests really died from it? Or were they executed for their pedophilic crimes? Is the entire corona infection nothing but a distraction for the public? At this moment in time, I cannot wait any longer with the presentation of my research findings. All my lectures in March, April and May have been cancelled. By means of this documentary, I can still share my current findings with the world. What do I expect to happen? That which millions of QAnons have been yearning for over 2 years. Mass arrests, military tribunals, convictions at the highest level, financial reset, and perhaps the 10 days of darkness Q mentioned. Lockdown of countries, lockdown of the internet, no social media, so that the cabal no longer knows what's coming and they cannot coordinate a possible escape. When this happens, do not be afraid. Everything is going according to plan. Operation Defender 20 is there to protect citizens against their corrupt governments that will spare no one in a final attempt to remain in power. I would not be surprised at all if we're told pretty soon that we cannot leave our homes any longer. My advice? Comply. In public places, idiots can open fire. At home, you're safe. Have a great time with your family. Enjoy your spring garden, the daffodils and the tulips, the beautiful singing of the birds. Everything will go on, just on a smaller scale. Q said, done in 30. If that means 30 days, this exciting phase will end on Good Friday, April 10. Realize that this is a unique time in the history of mankind. The time when the suppression of the people that has been going on for thousands of years will come to an end. This is the liberation of the people. This is the transition to a new earth, the 1,000-year kingdom of peace, the new Jerusalem on earth, as described in all ancient sacred texts. You are witnessing it, so enjoy to the fullest. There will be a time where you can say to your grandchildren, I was there, I lived it. God, it was so suspenseful. We had no idea what a wonderful world was awaiting us. Where we go one, we go all.